Presented by Think Outside the Vox and Silent Rhythms.
My name is Carl Richardson, and I am an avid theater goer who also has Usher syndrome, which affects both the hearing and vision, so I have a dual sensory loss. Depending on the type of ushers you have, both can progressively get worse over time. I first fell in love with theater at the age of 13 in my music class when we were assigned to sing in the music for Joseph and his amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, except I wasn't really a good singer. So my music teacher didn't know what to do with me, so they put me on the production crew. And that's when I saw the magic of theater.
How do you access information when going to the theater?
Well, the first thing I do is I go online to check if the information is there, as many theaters and organizations will put information about the play, the background, online. I also use my phone quite a bit to gather information for the world around me. And as a deaf-blind person, this phone does Bluetooth to my hearing aid. So I use a screen reader on the phone called VoiceOver.
History, but tab bar, selected, service directory.
By manipulating the phone, I can get all the information that's on the screen. Now with AI and OCR software, there's quite a bit of ways to access print information where historically in the past it was difficult to do. I'm going to use something called Be My Eyes right now, which is AI software, and I'm going to take a picture of this playbill.
Analyzing picture, please wait. A blue flyer for a book festival being held in someone's hand. The flyer reads, "Welcome to the 9th Provincetown Book Festival, September 19, 21, 2025, Provincetown Public Library, provincetownbookfestival.org. All events are free." The lower part of the flyer has a colorful, abstract illustration.
I also have OCR software that will read it word for word, called Envision. There's another one called Voice Screen Scanner. If I take a picture, it'll just read the text only. And there's a number of them now. There's 4 or 5 of them that the blind community now that will read text and OCR software, and I can read whole entire documents using my phone. I use this Be My AI. I may use it when I go into a theater. If I go into, say, the Paramount Theater and I want to know what the decor looks like or what the ambience is, I use this one that I just used, Be My AI, which is part of Be My Eyes, to describe what's around me. And it may say like, oh, there's a stage in front of you with red velvet drapes around you, with the people sitting in the theater looking like they're having a good time, that sort of thing.
What should institutions, theaters, and access providers bear in mind about accessibility?
You've got to maintain your equipment. Make sure it works. Make sure the batteries are fully charged. Make sure the headphones are cleaned. Make sure that the staff is trained on how to use the equipment, because everybody coming to the theater, it might be the first time they've ever used the equipment. So the staff might have to show them and be able to answer any questions they may have. I know that in some cases the equipment does not get used that much, so it sometimes becomes an afterthought. I know we're talking about theater, but I go to the movies a lot. And when the equipment doesn't work, they give me free tickets. I have a whole drawer full of free movie tickets. I'm tired of getting free tickets. I just want to go to the movies and have the equipment work. Same thing in the theater. And you need to promote the fact that you're doing this, because most people aren't used to the fact that you may have an audio described event or an ASL interpreted event. And they're going to assume you don't unless they see that you do. So make sure you also promote it to the community that you're trying to serve, and the community at large, and they have a friend or a mother or a sister or a brother that can benefit. They may go to the show with them, and it'll be a truly unique performance because they're doing it as a family or as friends being together when they can't often go to things like that together. Sometimes I get frustrated because there's not enough room for audio description to be involved. There was a show recently that I went to where there was a joke and the whole audience laughed. And I had no idea what they were laughing at. That's obviously a key, crucial moment. So I think the audio describer has to be trained in such a way to understand which key, crucial moments to include and which ones don't. If the whole audience is laughing, I'm going to consider that a key, crucial moment, because I want to laugh with them. I want to be part of the communal experience.
Can you give us some insight into the combined AD/enhanced audio device you use?
One of the things I struggle with, as both my senses have gotten declined and gotten worse over time, is which do I focus on? Do I focus on the primary audio so I can hear the performance, or do I focus on the audio description so I can understand what's going around me visually? And in the past, I've struggled with getting two different devices, one for the audio description, one for the amplified audio, loop, combination of headphones. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's been a challenge. So one of the nice things that this receiver does is it takes both the audio description feed and the amplified audio, enhanced audio feed, and marries it so that I can hear both in one feed. And there's a number of ways you can do that. You can wear this using a headset for those who prefer the headset, or someone like myself who's a hearing aid user. I like to use the loop where I put this around my neck. I turn on a switch, the T-coil switch in my hearing aid, and the sound will go directly to my hearing aid. And this has made a big difference in my enjoyment of the performances, that now that I don't have to sacrifice either the audio information or the video information, the visual information, now I can enjoy both and just relax.
What makes for good audio description of a pre-show?
While you're watching a show, there's very little time or place for an audio describer to say what a person is wearing, theme changes, lighting changes, other things that add to the story. So if you get to a show about a half an hour early, they will tell you what each character is wearing, what they look like, their approximate age, whether they're a person of color, what gender, if it's obvious. And that adds to the story. And I particularly love the set, because I used to be very visual, and I love knowing what the sets look like and how they change from act to act and scene to scene.
When theater has audio description, how does that affect you and your wife, Megan, who is hearing and sighted?
That has allowed Megan, my wife, and I to just sit there as a couple and enjoy the play, just like any other couple. Because when we go to a performance that does not have audio descriptions, Megan takes herself out of it and tries so hard to be my de facto describer, to the fact that where she gets tense and nervous and is not enjoying the show, because all she's concentrating on the fact on whether or not I can, and it's not that enjoyable, because I don't know whether to listen to her or the performance. It's not enjoyable for either one of us. So when you provide description, professional, qualified description with good trained describers who do the description, it allows Megan to enjoy the show, and it allows me to enjoy the show, and us to be a couple.
A special thank you to the following organizations: the Sudbury Foundation, Open Door Theater, the Discovery Museum, and the Mass Cultural Council.